Alright, how's it going, guys? I want to do a little experiment with my computer, and I want to share this with you guys, especially for you novice computer builders. Basically, this is going to be on temperature and how to keep your computer cool. Okay, so recently I've noticed that my computer's been running pretty hot. As you can see, the chart in the middle is for my GPU. Okay, it's a GTX 570. All the shit will be in the description for you if you want to know about my computer. The top, you see yellow lettering. You see the numbers, that's the temperature of the graphics card. Okay, you usually don't want to sit anywhere above 75 to 80 degrees Celsius. Now, I'm playing Skyrim with an ENB mod, which is pretty taxing on your GPU. And my fan is at 70%, which is pretty high, okay? You can probably hear it. Now, my computer is still running very hot, alright? It's surrounding 80%. It's actually 77 degrees Celsius right now, which is... it's fuming right now, okay? It's not good to have a GPU that hot. Especially my GTX 570, because these are known for going bad once they get hot, okay? If you want your computer to last a while, you want to keep it cool. And as you can see, my system is not running too cool right now. And to the right here, or maybe your left, my cores are at 47 degrees Celsius. I don't know if you can read that or not. But my point being, my computer's been running kind of hot lately, and I don't like that. So I'm going to do an experiment to see if I can cool it down, just with simple 120mm fans and some dusting. Alright, so... oh, hey buddy boy, how's it going? How is my butter? Okay, so, here's the rig. As you can hopefully see, let me see if I can find a flashlight real quick. No luck. Alright. So as you can see, it is very dusty inside. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe by that. That fan's supposed to be white, or clear. As you can see, it's the color dust. It's a new color, and it sucks dick. Look there. You can see a lot of dust. I don't know if you can see all this. That is terrible. That's supposed to be all black. That is all dust caked up there. So, as you can tell, my computer is very dusty. And this is one of the reasons why my rig is running a little bit warmer than it should. Dust creates air resistance. I believe it also works as like a, what's the word, insulator or something. It like traps the heat in more. It's just not good. Mainly a heat resistance thing though, because it gets caked up on the motherboard and everything. It's disgusting. It is very disgusting. So what we're going to do is we're going to dust it out. I'm going to show you guys how to do that properly. And yeah, we're gonna do some magic with these fans right here lying around. So yeah, when we come back, well, I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. So, peace. So, because I don't have any of those small little air cans, which you should use, you can get them anywhere pretty much, I'm going to use a fucking air compressor. Alright, so here she is. Basically dust free. I mean, I hit her with 100 PSI of compressed air. There's like not a speck of dust in this thing. Look at that SSD. It's actually blue now. Before it was like dust gray. But yeah, she's all clean. I don't know if you can see the 4 sticks under that fan, but everything's dust free. It's beautiful. So now we're gonna play with the airflow. Now, this is the tricky part. It's not just to let's throw fans in there and call it a day. Airflow usually goes from this side and goes through that side. Alright? You gotta know that your CPU's here. Mine is water cooled. I got my radiator here. And the tubes go right to the processor. And my GPU. This is the money. This is where you want your airflow. Alright? Heat rises. Keep that in mind. So you want fans to go that way, and you want fans to go that way. Alright, so I got the big fan here that's blowing air that way. I got this fan right here, which I was using. It was kind of like a shit job out of panic just to keep this thing cool, because when I was playing Skyrim I noticed I hit 80 degrees Celsius, which is stupid. So I used this. This is going to suck air from the bottom, which is the coldest, and it's going to blow it right up at the fan. I don't know if you can see that. You guys are going upside down and under. There's a fan right there for the processor. I don't know if you can see it, but it's weird. It's an upside down fan. It's built specifically to suck it from the bottom and shoot it out that way. That's how this thing works. Alright, and then this grabs the air from here and shoots it that way. And this fan up here is actually to suck out the hot air, keep air flowing. Alright, and this is just for looks, really. It doesn't do too much. RAM doesn't need to be cooled too much. So what I'm going to do is prioritize the GPU's cooling a bit more. Alright, so what I'm going to do is put this fan right here, okay? And I have a duct that came with this case. It's a duct. It makes sure that air stays with this GPU, and it's going to mainly make sure that the only air it's sucking is air from down here, not air from up here, okay? Because this air is hotter up here and this air is colder down here. Right? So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna try and see how that works. We're gonna do some benchmarking with temperatures and see if I saved. Remember, before I was playing Skyrim, I hit about 77, 78 degrees Celsius. We're gonna try and do that once I've done my fan stuff, because what I'm thinking of doing is getting a second GTX 570 and going SLI, because they're only like 180 bucks on eBay. I mean, the price on these things have dropped dramatically, so I'd like to get another one of these, and I'd like to upgrade my processor to an 8-core. That's an 8350, I believe it was. But I'm not going to be able to do that if my computer's already running hot. Okay, so in hopes, I've dusted it out. Hopefully that works, and if that didn't drop the temperatures, hopefully this new fan system I'm going to have going will. And I'm going to show you guys the after picture, because I don't think I'll be able to film this while I'm working on it. So yeah, when we come back, I'll show you guys what I did to it. Okay, alright, so it just dawned on me what another problem is. Before, when I first got my case, I was rocking this side panel. Alright, as you can see, it has a big 240mm fan on the side, or 230mm, whatever it was. So basically, it was not only sucking air from this side, but it was sucking air from this side, okay? So it was getting it from two different angles, where this one, although yes, it looks cooler because it has a dragon and a big clear side, it's only pulling air from that side, and this entire side is not getting any air, which means the GPU isn't getting more air, because this big fan right here was blowing air directly at the GPU and the motherboard. So that sucks for me, because I love this awesome one with the dragon. It's a limited edition, nearly impossible to find. A guy was selling it on eBay and I picked it up. And then you got this one that's obviously better for cooling. So I might have to rock this one for a little bit and see what the difference is in temperatures. Also, here's my duct. As you can see, it's just a piece of plastic. It goes around the GPU like so, blows air directly at it, because this GPU blows or sucks air from this end and it sucks air from that end. Very small little slit, and that's where this is going to be blowing at. So hopefully it all buffs out. But yeah, I'm going to hook that one up, and I'm going to hook that up, and then we're going to benchmark and see what the difference is. If there's a significant difference, I'll keep it. If not, I'll go back to my good old AMD side panel. Another thing you want to take into account when building your computer, because I know I have a bunch of subs that are building computers, is wire management. As you can see, I have next to no cables visible. They're all routed behind here. Now, take note, not all cases have like a back wall that you could hide your cables, but if you do, if you're buying a case, I recommend you look for a case that you could hide your cables. It's called cable management, and because this is your main flow, you want to make sure there's no cables in the way. Like, these are thin little wires, this won't be a problem, but as you can see, these bigger power cables, I don't know if you can see that, it's dark, but those are thicker and they will cause air resistance, so you don't want to, you don't want to have those in the way. You want to keep those tucked behind the motherboard. So let's try and hook this GPU back up. I had to disconnect it, unfortunately, because the duct is kind of big, but it's very good if you're running SLI, that's for sure. And I recommend buying, if you're going to buy a fan, make sure you buy a fan that you could adjust the settings on. I know mine I can't. They're about 3,500 RPMs, and that's their max. Alright, so it looks like it's all set up pretty good. That fan should kick on. So if you guys could see what I actually did here, I just put a duct and a fan here. Where before I had the fan sitting right here, which was good, I mean, don't get me wrong, but this one, that's going to be much better. It's going to blow directly on the GPU. It's going to blow under it a little bit so it could suck air also. And it's going to go all from the front. So, yeah, let's hook up this side panel now. I got to figure out a place to plug this wire into. But yeah, let's get her done. See, the motherboard has a few places for these wires. They're fans. Where the motherboard, I mean, the fan will spin at a certain rate depending on the motherboard's heat in that area. So if you plug it down here, this is going to go as fast as, you know, it's needed down there. Put it up top. Obviously, the top's going to be, the north bridge is usually the hottest one. The north bridge is the top half, where the south bridge is the bottom half of the motherboard. In case you didn't know. And this is giving me trouble. Okay, it's in. Let's go ahead and plug you up. Man, this side brings back old memories. We haven't used this side in a while. See, the fun thing about building computers is it's all custom. Like, you didn't go to a place and buy it. You didn't go have someone build it for you. I mean, you know your computer because it's yours. You built it. Where if you go and buy one, you know, something goes wrong with it, you gotta guess. This I pretty much know right away what's wrong with it. It was overheating. There's a wire hanging here. I should probably unscrew it. Fucking thumb screws are terrible. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if people ask me, should I build one or buy one? And they always say, I don't know how to build computers. I didn't know how to build a computer when I built this. It's all YouTube, all research. I looked it up. I learned my stuff. And now I know my shit, sort of. So now, as you can see, you can't see in the computer near as well. That's the downside to it. But this is all mesh, and this is a big fan blown right at the innards. So, it is technically better than this, but when it comes to looks, you can't beat the Dragon. So I'm just going to hang on to this until I do the benchmarks. Because like I said, if there's not a big difference, I'm just going to keep this one. But I'm assuming there's going to be a big difference. We're talking a lot of air here. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and wire her up and then boot her up. Look at all these cables. So you want to be a YouTuber, huh? Alright. Oops. Alright, now for the moment of truth. Let's see how it works. Move this. I'll have to rearrange some stuff because obviously you don't want stuff in front of the fan like this speaker. So I'll figure that out later, but as you can see, looking pretty spiffy. I mean, the fan's cool, but not as cool as the Dragon, and you can't see in it because this is actually smoked. I don't know why they did that. Build a case you want to see in it. So yeah, that's my system. Man, it actually sounds quieter. I'm not even gonna lie. And if you look, man, I can't even. Okay, you see that? There we go. You see that bright blue? Like, let me see. I'm gonna point my finger right to it. That bright blue right there. That's the fan we put in. Wait, right there. Yeah, that's the air duct we put in. So that's working. Yeah, but yeah, this is the half 932. Honestly, one of the better cases you could buy. It's so well ventilated. Mesh up top, mesh here, all the mesh in the back. It's just ridiculous. And like up here, I could probably put a fan right up here too, but it's kind of pointless because it would blow air directly here, and it would get sucked up by this right away. So it wouldn't do anything. It would look cool though. So it's all good. It looks. Everything seems to be working fine. There's my baby car. Alright, well, you're not going to be able to tell much from here, obviously. You must restart your computer to save your changes. What the fuck changes did I make? Okay, restart. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. We're going to do some benchmarking with Skyrim again. And we're going to see if this made any improvement. So when we come back, hopefully it did. Alright, so we are going to see how this all buffs out. I'm sitting in Skyrim right now. Alright, so I've been sitting here for about 5 to 6 minutes, and the GPU temperature never reached above 55 degrees Celsius. Alright, as you can see there. Alright guys, how's it going? The GoPro decided to stop working. Well, I mean, it works, but like after 14-ish minutes, hang on, how the fuck? I need my wire. After like 14 minutes worth of recording, or 14 seconds, sorry, it will just stop. Now I'm using my S2 to like use this as a screen. What you do is like the GoPro puts out a Wi-Fi, and then you would put like you sync it up with this obviously, and then you could use this as the LCD screen, because you know the GoPro doesn't have its own screen. It's a small little camera. There it is. It doesn't have its own screen, so you could use your smartphone or tablet as the screen. All you need is the GoPro app. So yeah, the conclusion of the story is it works. What we've done is just amazing. Like, playing Skyrim with that EMB, alright, everything was the same as before. Before I was hitting like 78, 77 degrees Celsius. Now I'm only hitting like 55 or 56. So that's 20 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but I know it's probably above 100, and that's a 20 degree difference right there. That's a big difference. So we've added a duct right there. You can kind of see it. We've added a duct to shoot air right at the GPU, and we added the side panel that shoots air directly at the motherboard, the CPU, just everything in that direction. It's awesome. So we also dusted it out. So by dusting it and adding 2 more fans, we have spared 20 degrees, or we lost 20 degrees out of our system, which is awesome. You want to lose temperature. And our processor is at 42 degrees on max load, where before it was at 47 to 48, and when I'm rendering it hits 50. But now when I just rendered one of our GoPro footage, but it's at 44 degrees Celsius when rendering, which is a 6 degree difference. I'm not too worried about that because it's water cooled and it's self-contained, so it'll do its own thing as long as there's air going through that. But just by dusting it out, that probably helped a lot. So if you have a computer and you haven't done it yet, I recommend you go down to the store and buy some compressed cans. They look like hairspray. You can find them anywhere pretty much, all right? You need to be like 18 to buy them, unfortunately, but they're afraid you huff them or something like that. But yeah, so just do this like once a month or something, especially if you have like animals like I do. I have a dog, and although I don't have dog fur in here, but if you have your computer on the floor, especially if your family smokes, anyone smokes in your house, dust your computer. It'll spare you temperature, and the cooler your system, the longer it'll last. The GPU, the 570 I have, is known for going bad quickly when it's over 80 degrees Celsius. I've read, if you go on Newegg and you go on the reviews, so many people complained because first of all, the automatic fan, it has an automatic fan, so like it'll change its speed as the temperature gets higher. The fan will only ever hit like 60% out of 85 when it's at 80, when it's boiling, okay? So your thing could be boiling, and the stupid program's like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and up it a little bit, but you might lose this GPU because it'll probably destroy itself. So you need to manually change it, which I usually have it sitting at 70. It's not too loud, and it keeps it cool. And yeah, before I had to rock it up at 85%. I'm gonna have you guys listen to it at 85%. Let's see if it wants to work. Let me take this off so you can actually hear the wind blow. Ready? Set. You guys hear that? How would you like that in all my commentaries? That's annoying as shit. It's annoying for me, I know that. And I'm wearing freaking Skull Candy earbuds, so I mean, I can't even hear it when my ears are plugged. But I'm sure it'll be annoying for you guys. So, obviously, I didn't want to have to keep doing this, so that's why I changed my, my setup here. I got better air circulation, and I dusted it out. So I recommend you guys do this if you ever build a computer. When building a case, I highly recommend a half HAF. Look it up. Great cases. I have no problems with them. My friend has a 942, which is the half X. It's awesome. I mean, there's other cases too. I mean, there's a lot of cases out there, but I have no problems with this. And if you want a recommendation from me, this is it right here. So that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you learned something. I know I learned something. Airflow is very important with computers. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace out, guys.